Hey there, I'm Mandy. Today I'm going to be showing you 4 different ways that you can jazz up some boxed potatoes, whether it's scalloped potatoes, cheesy potatoes, julienne potatoes, whatever kind of boxed potatoes you have. I'm going to show you 4 different ways that you can jazz these up, make a good meal for your family in under 30 minutes or less, and it's super cheap. I will be sharing with you the cost of each meal, the breakdown of it per serving. So if you need some quick, easy meals in less than 30 minutes, cheap and scrumptious, then let's get to cooking.
Our first meal I'm calling chicken pot pie. I'm just spraying my dish here with a little bit of olive oil spray, and then I'm going to follow the directions on the box. I'm adding my potatoes into the dish, pouring 2 cups of boiling water over the potatoes, adding in a tablespoon of butter and 2/3 cup of milk. I'm gonna give this a little bit of a stir, cut up that butter just a little bit so it'll melt a little bit easier. And then I'm gonna add in a can of cream of mushroom soup. And then the sauce packet or the cheese packet that comes with the box of scalloped potatoes. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, a can of chicken, half a bag of the chopped frozen onions, and half a bag of the peas and carrots. If you want to use more than half a bag, you can, but the half a bag of each of the carrots and onions, it was plenty for this dish. So I'm just going to stir that up a little bit and break up those chunks of chicken. And then for the pie part of this chicken pot pie, I'm using biscuits, and I'm just kind of spreading it apart to get it as thin as I can because these were kind of small biscuits. You can use crescent rolls for this. They would be really good, but I was trying to keep the price of this meal as cheap as I could, and the biscuits were a little bit cheaper than the crescent rolls. So now I'm just brushing some melted butter over the top of the biscuits, and then I will cover it with aluminum foil, bake it in a 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then I will uncover the dish and then pop it back in the oven for about another 5-6 minutes until your biscuits are good and golden brown on the top. And this is what it looks like. This was a very good meal. Jason is not a fan of chicken pot pie, but he actually liked this and went back for seconds. The next meal I am calling chili potato bake. Again, I'm following the directions on the box of the potatoes. These were the 3 cheese potatoes. So I have my potatoes in the pan or the dish. I'm pouring over 2 cups of boiling water, adding in 2/3 cup of milk, a tablespoon of butter, and then the cheesy packet that came with the box of potatoes. I'm just going to stir this up a little bit, breaking up that butter so it melts a little more easily. And then I'm going to add in a teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and 1 teaspoon of onion powder. I'm going to stir this up a little bit, and now I'm going to add in 1 can of chili with beans and give that a good mix. Pop it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes, and this is what it looks like. I did serve it with a little bit of shredded cheddar cheese on the top and some sour cream, and oh my goodness, this was delicious. The next one I am calling loaded potatoes. This was another one of my favorites. So I'm just using the scalloped potato box, following the directions. Potatoes in the dish, 2/3 cup of milk, a tablespoon of butter, 2 cups of boiling water, and the seasoning packet. Just gonna give it a good stir, and then I'm going to add in the bacon. I only used half a pack of bacon. If you want to use the whole pack, be my guest, but I feel like the half a pack was plenty. It had really good flavor to it. You definitely could taste the bacon in it. I'm just gonna pop this in the oven uncovered in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes. This is what it looks like. And then I topped it with some mild cheddar cheese, and then I put it back into the oven just until that cheese was nice and melted. And here it is once it's all melted, and then I'm going to add on some chopped green onions. This was really good, and if you've never watched my videos before, if you get green onions, after you chop them up, take that white part of the onion and put it in a cup of water, and they will regrow, and then you don't have to buy another thing of green onions for a little while. So I served this up with a little bit of sour cream on the top, and I did put a little extra cheese on there just because we really love cheese around here. And y'all, oh my goodness, it was a toss-up between this one and the chili potato bake. I don't know which one was really my all-time favorite. Jason really liked this one, and the kids actually liked it as well. I felt like I was really eating a loaded baked potato. Last but not least is smoked sausage potato soup. In my Dutch oven, I had about a tablespoon of butter melting. I'm adding in 1 medium chopped onion, and I'm just gonna let that saute a little bit. And then I will add in about a tablespoon of minced garlic. I just used the minced garlic out of a jar. If you want to use fresh garlic and chop it up, that is completely fine. I just find that this is a little bit quicker and easier on those nights where you're trying to get dinner on the table a little bit faster. So I'm just going to stir that up, let it saute a little bit, and then I'm going to add in the 3 cheese potatoes, and again follow the directions on the box, although this time I'm using the stovetop directions. So I'm just putting those potatoes into the Dutch oven, and then I'll add in 2 cups of hot water, 2/3 cup of milk, and another tablespoon of butter. I'm going to give that a good stir, and then I'm going to add in the sliced smoked sausage, and then I'll add in the cheesy packet that came with the potatoes and stir that all up. Once that is all stirred up, I'm going to add in a heaping cup of mild cheddar cheese and give that a good mix. Now I'm adding in a little bit of onion powder. I probably used maybe about half a teaspoon, not a whole lot. And because I wanted it to be soupy, I did add in half a cup of chicken broth, although I don't have it filmed. I'm not sure where that little clip went to. And as far as cooking it, I just followed the directions, and whenever the potatoes were nice and tender, then it was done and ready to serve. But this is what it looked like at the end. I did top it again with some cheddar cheese. This was really good, very flavorful. That sausage was delicious.
So that's all of the 4 jazzed up boxed potato recipes that I came up with. I hope you enjoyed it. Now I wanted to go into the breakdown of all of those meals and how much it cost for each serving. When I calculated up how much everything was, I did not include the spices because I used spices that most people have in their pantry already. If you don't have some of the spices that I used, then just wing it and substitute it with something else. For instance, the poultry seasoning. If you don't have poultry seasoning, do not go out and buy poultry seasoning. You can use sage, basil, anything like that. So don't worry about running out and getting a special spice for these recipes. I did not calculate for the milk and the butter that you use to make the actual scalloped potatoes or cheesy potatoes, whatever it was. I didn't calculate that in because you have to have that anyways to prepare those boxed potatoes. I'm looking at my notes here because I have it all written down of how much everything cost. So the first one was the chicken pot pie. That one was really good. It cost $6.75 to make that meal, and per serving I figured that it was probably about 6 servings depending on how big your family is, the ages of your family members. You know, we have 3 kids. One is a teenager, she eats a little bit more. Emilia is 8 and she sometimes eats like a bird. So, and then we have Kason, which is 2.5 years old, and sometimes he eats more than my 8-year-old. So it just all depends on how much you guys eat. But I averaged it to be about 6 servings for each meal. So that one, the chicken pot pie, it worked out to be $1.13 per serving. $6.75 for the whole entire meal. That is crazy. I just can't believe how cheap that was. The next meal was the chili potato bake. That cost $2.79 for the entire meal. Now, like I said, I did not include the spices and I didn't include the cheese or the sour cream because those are kind of optional toppings. If you have cheese, then use it. If you like sour cream and you have it, use it. If not, don't worry about running out and buying it if you don't normally buy that. And then the cumin and the chili powder, the spices, again, if you don't have those, then just use the can of chili. Now, I will say, next time when I make this, I would probably use 2 cans of chili instead of just 1. So just to give it a little more meat, just to kind of bulk it up a little bit more, I probably would use 2 cans of chili next time. But for the 1 can of chili, the box of potatoes, $2.79. So for a serving for 6 people, 47 cents. You can't go out and eat that cheap. You can't even get a thing of chili at Wendy's that cheap. The next one was the loaded potatoes. Oh my gosh, you guys, that one was so good. Total, this one was a little more because you used bacon. So actually, whenever I was calculating this, it looks like I put in for the whole pack of bacon, not half of it. And I feel that half was plenty of bacon. If you want to have more meat, then by all means use more meat. So this is for the whole pack of bacon instead of just half like I used. $8.73 for 6 servings, $1.50 per serving. $1.50. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. The last one was the kielbasa potato soup. Again, this one was a little more pricey because we bought the meat, we had the sausage. It was $3.98 for that smoked sausage, and you can pick whatever kind of sausage you want for that. You could have the Cajun sausage, whatever you want. I picked the smoked sausage because it was per ounce, it was cheaper. I think it was like 13 or 14 ounces, and all the other sausages are only 12 ounces at the same price. So the smoked sausage, you're getting more for your money. That was $7.65 $1.28 per serving. Y'all, that is so cheap. I mean, like I said, you cannot go out and eat for that price. For one person going somewhere, I go to Zaxby's a lot and I get a number 4 boneless wings, tongue torch sauce with a Coke Zero, and it is $8 and something for one meal. This is serving 6 people for $7.65. That's crazy. So all of these meals were under $9. The most expensive one was the loaded potatoes because of the bacon. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy. And the potatoes were delicious. The kids loved it. Let's see, Amelia liked the kielbasa potato soup the most. Isabella liked the loaded baked potatoes or loaded potatoes the most. Jason liked the loaded potatoes the most. For me, it was a toss-up between the loaded potatoes and the chili potato bake. I really don't know which one was my favorite. I liked them both. So I guess our least favorite one was the chicken pot pie. It was still really good. Jason went back for seconds. It was still really good, but out of all 4 of those, the ones that I just mentioned were our favorites. So I am definitely adding these to our rotation of meals, and I hope that you guys try it out. If you do, let me know down in the comments. I loved coming up with these recipes and trying to see how cheap I could get them and how much I could jazz up these potatoes and not have just plain Jane potatoes. Although plain Jane potatoes are still good, but it was fun to come up with a new idea and have a whole meal out of a box of potatoes and a few extra ingredients. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, share, all that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.